Push this back a little. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, all of you. Wonderful, wonderful. That's great. That's great. This is Dr. Ujjwal, the director of the institute, Chauhan madam, members of the faculty, students, my younger daughter who is also present here, Sarika. Especially wanted to see what her father speaks here. So she's joined me to briefly even tell a bit about her. She is just returned from UK, having completed her bachelor's in business and management, and after a year of work here, intends to go back for a postgraduate study. Friends, you would all be a little amused when a speaker starts with a good morning, repeats another good morning, and then does a third good morning. Do you know why this is done? You know, there's a hormone called serotonin which your body produces when you stretch your muscles. You know, when you repeatedly say good morning, you're actually stretching a lot of your facial muscles and your body muscles. And serotonin is actually a happiness hormone. This actually makes you feel a little better, and people who are tending to sleep a little and getting a little away from being alert suddenly become alert. So the intention of repeatedly saying good morning is not a rhetoric which speaker after speaker does, but it's actually to make the audience really feel a little alert, awake. And let me at the outset ask Dr. Is Professor Sandeep here? Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm sorry, Professor Sandeep. I am mainly here because of Professor Sandeep. This is because he came to know that I speak in various forums, speak on a lot of management and motivation related issues. So he got hold of me. So courtesy to Dr. Sandeep, Professor Sandeep Shinde that I am here. Professor Shinde for having given that opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Ujjwal also for having given this opportunity. Friends, let's kind of keep this a very light session, keep it a little interactive. When usually a speaker says we'll keep it a little interactive, children in various colleges tend to keep their eyes away from the speaker. Do you know why? When they're worried, the speaker will suddenly ask me a question. Right? And when we are not prepared for an answer, it really makes your situation a little awkward, right? So I'm not going to ask anybody a question. So this is a deal from my side, right? I'm not going to ask anybody a particular question. So that is a deal. So all of you keep your eyes towards me, right? So that's deal number 2. Deal number 3, my young friend here should be complimented. Is she a egg party? Are you an egg party? Because this was one of those rare occasions where somebody didn't refer to a paper while giving out my introduction. I was a little surprised that somebody had taken the pains to actually mug up my introduction. Thank you very much. I feel privileged. And she hardly went wrong at a place or two, which she possibly corrected herself. But if this is the kind of brilliance that I see in this institute, you're making me feel a little nervous now. I may take my eyes off you, such bright kids, lovely. 1, please remain alert all throughout this presentation that I'm going to give you. 1. Once or twice, a small nap of maybe a minute is allowed. Okay? A minute, 1.5 minute nap, which is quite biological, it's biological. So it happens, that is allowed. But don't take larger power naps, of 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You will lose continuity here. Okay. Besides that, my young friend here said, please put your cells on silent mode. Let's take 30 seconds Whoever has still not put his mobile on silent, no vibration modes please. Anybody who's got his phone on vibration, please change it to silent. Please do that. Why I say don't keep it on vibration is because that little worm which keeps wriggling in your pocket, that will keep disturbing you. So don't allow that worm to wriggle in your pockets. Please make it silent. Is this intermittently going off? Is this intermittently going off? Should be okay now? Fine. Friends, Professor Shinde gave me the choice of picking up a topic myself. And I was not sure as the kind of audience that I was going to address. So I chose leadership. And when I realized that I'm going to be talking to, it keeps going on, if I'm not wrong. Am I audible without the mic? Yes. Then I think you can do away with the mic. No, I'll keep my hands free, don't worry. Till the last end there, everybody can hear me? Yes. Good. No mic is required. When Professor Shinde actually told me that, speak on anything that you choose to speak on, I said, let's speak on leadership. But a couple of days back, I said we will speak, rather than on leadership, let's discuss organizational leadership. Friends, when all of you actually go out of your campus, eventually, and join one or the other industry, you are going to be part of organizations, and you are going to be managers there. Having done an MBA, what do you all aspire to be? Managers? MBA students go out to be good and great managers, is that correct? Or am I wrong?
Yes, sir.
How many of you say yes? Put your hands up. Good or great managers? MBAs want to be good or great managers. I see hardly about 10% saying yes. What do the rest of the people want to be? A bit louder, please. The correct answer is somebody wants to be a leader. Friends, leader is a more refined version of a manager. Manager is a man whose destiny is being written by somebody else. But a leader is a man who chooses to write his own destiny. So if I am having almost about 150 young, bright boys and girls here who choose to be leaders, almost about 90% of the people here want to be leaders. So I think I have a highly motivated kind of a crowd here wanting to listen, and then I'm sure this will make a lot of sense to you. Because even those 10% people who said they want to be great managers, eventually in the span of the next 2 or 3 years, you would want to graduate on to be great leaders. So friends, let's start with the presentation. I expect that there will be no cross-talk amongst yourself. I expect that as a courtesy to the guest speaker from your side. Please take care of that. Can somebody switch off this light and put on a light here? Switch this light off because that gives a better visibility to what they see there. Yeah, you could put on one of the lights here, if you can possibly. Friends, what do you see here? And what kind of penguin is in front of them? That's the leader. So you've all chosen to build your own destinies. You will lead the pack. You will not be led by others. So that's the first thing that you have decided to do. Well, how does this sound? Look at the slide. How does this sound? A leader must have an MBA and a PhD qualification. What does that mean? Does it mean that any leader, every leader, will have to have an MBA and a PhD? No? Why not? Then, is the speaker chosen by Professor Shinde a wrong speaker? I have made a statement.
A good leader must have an MBA and a PhD. But you are wiser. He should be a motivator. He should be bold. He should be articulate. He should be expressive, and passionate. Hungry to do a lot of things. That hunger has to be there within you, and he should be disciplined. So am I wrong or am I correct to say that you should be an MBA and a PhD? Yes, you need to be. Anybody who wants to be a leader has to have these 6 attributes with him. He has to have an MBA, he has to have a PhD, right? Friends, take you a little into history now. Lord Krishna in 3139 BC, when the battle of Kurukshetra was taking place, the chariot of Arjuna was right there in the battlefield. Arjuna suddenly refused to fight his own brothers. There were Kauravas on one side and Pandavas on the other side. And Arjuna suddenly said, how could I fight my own brothers? After all, Duryodhana and his 99 brothers are my own brothers. They are my cousins and I can't fight them. That is the time when Lord Krishna spoke to Arjuna. And that is what is called Bhagavad Gita, right? And in chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita, in verse number 21, let us see what Lord Krishna said. Volume. Friends, I am sure none of us understand much of Sanskrit, so we will not tax you for the Sanskrit. This is what he meant. Please read it, it's in English there. If you have absorbed this, we will go to the next slide. No? Somebody is still reading this? No crosstalk, please. The girls in row number 3 from the back, no crosstalk, please. Leaders are individuals who inspire followers through their words, ideas, and behavior. This is the modern definition as per a management textbook. Then what I was showing in the previous slide, was it anything different? Madam, was it anything different? It was the same. So the definition of leadership was given to Indians in 3139 BC by Lord Krishna. And management books have now been talking about it. And Americans have claimed that they have coined the word leadership. They said, we have the copyright to say that we have coined this terminology of leadership. But I defy, I say, well, it's Lord Krishna who actually spoke first about leadership. They are committed people who provide objectives, vision, and who lead by example. Providing objectives, providing vision, and leading by example. They help to prioritize objectives and provide guidance towards achieving the overall vision of the organization. This third line is more in terms with the organization. But otherwise, if you see, the first two, they are very generic. The third actually marries your purpose with an organization, right? We identify 6 areas where a leader needs to have excellence. He needs to be a good performer himself. We go out and play a match. The captain goes out, scores a 0, comes into the pavilion again, and gives a lecture to his team, go out and score a century.